What's up, y'all? It is finally here, season 2 of Kaiju number 8, and it starts off with a bang. In case you want to look at its manga counterpart, it takes place on chapter 39 and ends round about chapter 40 for those who want to go check it out in the manga. And also, they added a couple new things. So what we got in the beginning of this episode, where Kafka, he kind of goes berserk, and he transforms into Kaiju number 8, and he starts destroying the city, which, by the way, epic scene. Like, this part was just pretty damn goated. But he's destroying the city. You got it with Mina and them show up to try to stop him. They start firing on him, and you have it where he just does this devastating destruction blast wave at the helicopter, knocks it out the sky, and then he just blows up the whole area within Japan. Like, yo, it was an amazing scene. All of that was stuff that we didn't get in the manga, so that's all new material. So I'm glad to see that they're actually doing what they did in season 1, where they're actually adding stuff to help improve the overall series. Don't get me wrong, the manga itself is goated. You know what I'm saying? It has few flaws. I mean, it has some, but it's few. But the fact that they're taking the time in to actually make some parts even better, because this scene right here, you anime onlys might not realize it, but the manga readers, they know this is going to actually make something else that happens later on in this season even more impactful. In fact, I say it probably going to happen within the next few episodes, and this moment right here kind of adds to that. And once it happens, I'll point it out, but I don't want to spoil it for my anime onlys. So I do like the fact that they took the time out to do this. Also, the part where we had Iharu and Reno, traveling on a train and taking pictures, if I recall correctly, that also wasn't in the manga, unless it's further on and they just took it from a later chapter and put it into this episode. But as far as I remember, that part wasn't in the manga as well. So I really like the fact that they're actually trying to just add so much more to the series. With that being said, I'm really curious and at the same time worried at what point of this season it's going to actually stop, because if they only got 11 episodes, and if they continue to add new material, I don't know how much far out we're going to be able to get into the season, and something really big happens within the next few episodes, and it's just like, if that happened, will we have enough time to see the entire outcome, or will it be one of those situations where it stops midway through and we gotta have to wait for season 3? I really hope that's not the case, but that's how it's looking if they continue to add new material in every episode. But we have it in this episode where all the people from Squad Division 3 gets split around to different divisions, and we have it where Kikaru, she goes to Division 1. And one thing they did, it was actually in the manga as well, but you really didn't hear the sound effects because you're reading it as opposed to actually hearing it. But the fact that everything that happened with what's his name, Geen, oh my god, that shit was hilarious. Every time his vice captain would kick him and shit, yo, I was just dying laughing because it made like this weird little whew, like noise every time it happened. I want to say it happened 3 times in that episode. So it was hilarious, for Narumi, for that to keep happening to him. I just thought that was so hilarious. And then it was funny in the manga, but it was even more funny seeing it animated. Kikaru reaction to when she first meets him, and she's just like, yeah, I don't respect this guy. There's no way. Nah, he's a clown. I just thought that was hilarious as hell, because, I mean, you got to think about it. Like, you're the #1 defense force captain. Like, you're supposed to be the strongest person in Japan. And when she walks to your room, it looks like a pigsty, for one. And then you're just under the covers playing video games like, yo, I don't feel like cleaning. I'm not cleaning. Arguing with your vice captain. That was just like, yo, it's going to make anybody think like, yo, he's someone you can't take serious. But you have it right off the bat, where he's like, look, man, you ain't got to give me all those presenting yourself well, telling me you have to clean and all that stuff. There's only one thing I require from you. And this right here was the line that had me like, yo, he's just that guy. I mean, you guys going to witness it as anime reviewers. People who are anime only, you're going to have this where you're debating amongst yourself who's your favorite character. Is it Reno? Is it Kikaru? Is it, Geen? Is it Hoshina? Like, you guys are going to be saying that to yourself as this season go on. Is it the general? Because so many great things are about to happen in this season. But you have it where, Godzilla appear. I never realized it until now, but like, yo, that was definitely Godzilla in this episode. And I went back when I looked at the manga. I'm at work right now, but when I looked at the manga, I'm like, yo, damn, I never realized how much this kaiju looks just like Godzilla. But you have it like heading towards the city, doing the whole shit with under the water, come up and it's standing on top of the water despite how deep the ocean may actually be. He's walking on top of the water. You have it where he's attacking, and you have it where, you know what I'm saying, Narumi, as well as your boy, as well as Kikaru and everyone else, they actually go out to this location to try to stop this giant Godzilla looking like kaiju. You have it when Narumi tells Kikaru, like, yo, you know, I only have one thing I require from you. And this dude jumps out the plane. No, don't get me wrong. When I saw it in the manga, I was like, yo, this dude is badass. But you got him falling through the air, and next thing you know, he pulls out a bayonet. Like, yo, his weapon's goated as hell. His weapon is goated as hell. You got him flying through the air with it. He uses it, the momentum from falling from the sky, to actually pierce the hide of this kaiju. He stabs it with the front of his, his weapon. Then he pulls the trigger and blasts it apart into a million pieces. Now, in the manga, it wasn't this goddamn bloody. This shit was bloody. I mean, it was blood everywhere. But you got it where he blasts this kaiju until it explodes. And then he has it where he's standing on his gun after this happened. And he looks at her and says, like, yo, I don't care about any of that other stuff. You get it, right? All I want from you is your strength and results. And I love the fact that they took the time to do this. Now, on my other channel, I actually had a breakdown from the B-side manga. It was Kaiju number 8 B-side. It's a spin-off manga. But they actually gave you a little more story into the background of, Gin. And if you guys want, I could redo the video for this channel, but like, it tells you his backstory and how he became who he is today. But you got it where, he ends up going back to base after they defeat this kaiju. He's mad because everyone's giving credit to Mina, even though she was nowhere there. And you got it where this guy, was pissed. He's going off. He's like, yo, no, there's no way. You can't give the credit to her. Like, yo, she did nothing. She did nothing. And I thought that was another hilarious moment. But you got it where, they go meet the general, and the general tells, Kafka that he's going to be placed under the supervision of Division 1. And of course, Gin doesn't want, Kafka on his squad. He's saying, like, yo, our squad is already as strong as there is. We don't need him. And that's when the general says, like, yo, your arrogance is going to be your downfall. Like, yo, the kaijus have constantly been changing and evolving, and the way we've been able to keep up with them is by evolving ourselves. You cannot say that Kaiju number 8 as well as 9 and 10 are displaying stuff that we've never encountered before. And in order to fight that evil, we're going to need Kafka's strength. And of course, you got it where, Gin, he actually agrees to it, and he says, like, yo, he's a little disappointed, but he will agree to the terms that the general set forth. But he tells Kafka, like, yo, if you mess up and go out of control like you did when you was facing off against the general, I won't hesitate to cut you down. And then you have it where Kikaru, she noticed how strong Division 1 squad is, and how everyone on their squad, no matter what rank they are at least at the bare minimum as strong as a platoon leader, which is 40% or higher. And you got it where she wants to become stronger, so if she has to stop Kafka, she will be strong enough to do so. She will have that power. And you have it where Reno, he wants to become stronger so Kafka doesn't have to rely on his kaiju power. But all in all, man, amazing episode from start to finish. Let me know y'all thoughts. Really love the additions that they actually added to this episode. But let me know y'all thoughts down below. If you like the video, thumb it up. Please subscribe, hit the bell, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.